All right, so today we're gonna go over Romanian deadlifts. They are a part of deadlifts, so this is one of the most important exercises. In fact, in my opinion, it is the most underutilized exercise in all of fitness, in all of lifting, everything. The reason is people don't do it as much as they should is because they do it incorrectly, so badly that they hurt their backs. And it is a very dangerous exercise. I personally herniated 2 of my discs doing this exercise incorrectly when I was 25 years old. So I personally know what it feels like to jack your back up. So that's actually, once I did that, that's how I started my journey. And it's been 20 years since then. I'm 45, so it's been 20 years of me studying this stuff to make sure I just get it dialed in perfect. So my video here is going to help you a lot, I promise you, if you're doing Romanian deadlifts or RDLs, whichever one you call them. Now, the key with Romanian deadlifts is to focus on the prime mover, which is gonna be your hamstrings and glutes, right? That whole posterior chain. Your back absolutely 100% has to be stabilized. So we don't want any of the fascia on the back. I don't know if you've ever seen a picture of the muscles in the back, like a picture of the back. Here's the back. The fascia is right here. Here's the hips. The fascia right here, there's no muscle right in the middle of the back. And that's the part that usually gets jacked up pretty bad, right about here, because there's no muscle. It's all white tissue. It's all fascia. So when people do these, they put all their pressure here on the fascia. They don't understand how the mechanics of this exercise work. So that's what we're gonna go over today, and I really hope it helps you, and I hope you add RDLs. I do Romanian deadlifts at least once a week, sometimes twice a week. I also squat 2 to 3 times a week for sure, at least twice, back squat and front squat, and then I'll do 1 and usually 2 sets of Romanian deadlifts, do different exercises throughout the week. If you're looking for maximized time in the gym, that's one of the ways to do it, and this lift will change your entire torso if done correctly. So please pay really close attention. I have 6 points here today that I'm going to go over. 6 points again, and I'll show you. You can see the little text overlays, and you can see them. So yeah, let's have some fun, man, and let's learn about Romanian deadlifts. I really hope you watch this video, and it really helps you because it's a lot of really good information that took me years, and all this stuff is based on scientific studies and mechanics and physical therapist protocols on injury prevention and injury rehab and all that stuff based off low backs, and it's amazing. The Romanian deadlifts also really help your knees. So anyway, I'm rambling on here. Let's get rocking. I'm pumped. Peace. All right, first point on Romanian deadlift is weight distribution. Okay, this is the most important point. That's why it's at the beginning. I'll talk about this again in a little bit, but a building, imagine a building. If you have a bad basement, meaning if your basement's all jacked up, and especially if your first floor is all jacked up, in terms of weight, like strength to hold up the building, it's gonna fall. That's really common sense, but it's amazing how many people do deadlifts, squats, snatches, cleans, all that stuff, and they have no idea about what weight distribution means. So I was saying, 90-10 or 80-20 when you start and 90-10. You're gonna see when I do this, I shift my weight on my heels and I keep it there the entire time. Again, we don't want that building to collapse forward. The lower part of your body controls the upper part of your body. Period, full stop, period. So if you lean forward, anteriorly translate, and you go on your toes, your upper body will collapse forward. And that is really bad on your back when you're doing a Romanian deadlift. So pay really close attention to my feet here. I'm gonna use the over-under grip here. I'm gonna deadlift it up. Now watch my feet, my weight distribution. I'm shifting on my heels. Boom. See, my toes even come up a little bit, that's okay. Boom. Heels, heels, heels. Now I'm keeping my knees slightly bent. Slightly bent, not here and not locked. If you lock your knees, that's a stiff leg deadlift, that's different. So you wanna keep my knees slightly bent here the whole time, there. So watch your knees. See, and I'm actually shaving my legs. That's gonna be the next point I'm gonna talk about in just a second. You can see I'm actually rubbing off some stuff on my legs. It's really good. So 90-10 when you're doing the lift, or 80-20. Cut your foot in your mind's eye, your weight, 80-20 when you start, 90-10 when you lift. Hope that helps. Rock on. All right, point number 2 is grip. Now I did a whole video on this, and so I'll link that. You can actually watch it. I'll point that in. When you get done with this video, I'll actually link to it here, and I'll put it in the bottom too. But with the grips, there's pronated grip, the main grips you want to use. You can use straps for sure. I don't use straps very much, but I did a whole video on straps, hooks. I did it with fat grips. I did a whole video on that just recently, and I'll put that in the description as well. But the key is pronated is here. Pronated grip is here, right? Supinated grip's here. Neutral grip is here. Now, when you're not going super heavy on these, use pronated grip. That's gonna allow you to pull the weight in when you're doing Romanian deadlifts to your body better, more effectively, right? Now, when you start getting heavy, now I'm not a doctor.
I'm a pop star, not a doctor.
So if you do this, you have to be careful. So I'm not a medical professional, that's just a heads up. You can get hurt doing this, is my point. So you gotta be really careful on this. You have to be really, your spine has to be locked in, like meaning you can't become kyphotic and all this other stuff that I'm gonna talk about in a little bit more in this video. But over-under grip is what I use when I go heavy. So I'm gonna show you this with pronated grip and then over-under grip. The key on over-under grip is always rotate it back and forth. So if 1 set, it's 2 sets, 3rd set, 4th set here, right? So pronated grip. Now with the Romanian deadlift, when I say the grips, you want your stance to be a little bit closer on Romanian deadlifts. You don't want it out here. You definitely don't want a sumo stance. Right, deadlift stance. But you want it a little bit closer because when you come down, you want your hands to slide down shoulder width. So your knees have to be inside a little bit more. That's why you want a shallower stance, because your hands are gonna come here, see? Like this, right? Even with over under, same thing. Here. Put the other hand away. So, pronated grip, feet in, closer than shoulder width for sure. So you come straight down like this, and take the weight. I'm gonna pull it, chest up, shoulders back. I'm gonna deadlift it up, just to show you, here. Now, as I come down with my pronated grip, watch here, I'll do about 5 of these. Boom, there. Now I'm gonna do it with over under grip. Again, be very careful with this because you are tweaking your spine a little bit. I love the over under grip. I never use straps for Romanians because I can under over grip up to 400 pounds with deadlift. I think 420 I can do it. But the point is that I don't Romanian deadlift over 400 pounds right now, so that works. All right, I'm gonna deadlift it up here. Boom. So, over on the right hand, left one's under. And that, pronated grip and over under grip. Awesome. Point number 3, hip hinge. All right. Upper body, lower body. Hip hinge. Romanian deadlift is a hip hinge movement. It is not a squat. Do not squat. Yesterday I saw somebody doing this on Romanians, and then I saw like a few days before that I saw someone doing like a squat, weird kind of like Romanian deadlift squat hybrid. It's bad. Don't do that. So please pay really close attention to this hip hinge. Weight distribution, right? You're gonna have your weight on your heels, not on your toes, and feet are gonna be, shoulder, a little bit shallower, more shallow than shoulder width. So here, you're gonna come down here. Now, when I hip hinge, I push my butt back and up. It goes back and up, back and up. You're kicking your hips back and up. You don't wanna come straight back. So if I come straight back, I'm gonna fall. If I come straight back with my hips, it's really important. I'm gonna say it again. I'm gonna fall, like I can't do it. You've gotta kick your hips up and back, okay? So it looks like this. It's a hip hinge, right? Upper body, lower body. But the back part of your hips, you wanna ducktail almost. Like a duck has a tail like that? That's what you wanna do as you do it. Boom. There we go. So watch here as I do this. Now I'm gonna use I'll use an over under on the other side since I showed you this way. I'm gonna show you here, other side. All right, so I'm gonna deadlift it up. Now watch my hips. I'm gonna do about 8 of these. Chest up, shoulders back, hip hinge down. Do not squat. Now I can feel that in my hamstrings and my glutes, big time. Now I am shifting my weight to my heels a lot. That's great, but I'm not falling back. It's better to fall back than forward. Abs tight as you do this. Chest up. And that is hip hinge. Do not squat. Point. Romanian deadlifts. Boom. All right, point number 4 is neutral spine. And this is not kyphotic. So the goal is not ever to lift like this. When you're lifting, you don't want to lift and become, it's internal rotation of the shoulders. And what that does is that puts your spine into a turtle position. It's horrible on your back. Now, I talked earlier about weight distribution. So you obviously want to make sure you're on your heels and not on your toes. That's going to set you up for success in the upper part of the body. And again, if you're looking at a building, the basement of the building is where, you know, the basement and the first floor hold the entire first floor, or the second, third, fourth, fifth, whatever floor it's up. It's the same thing with your body. So we have to make sure we stay on our heels, right? Now, when we're sitting in our anterior pelvic tilt here, that's going to allow us. So basically, anterior pelvic tilt is here. Boop. Just kick your hips back a little bit, right? You kick your hips back a little bit. It's anterior because your hips are actually coming anteriorly forward a little bit, right? Now that's gonna set you up for success on your spine, neutral spine. You want your spine to be in natural neutral position for this entire lift. This is the biggest problem that most people have when they do this exercise, is they'll come down here. I literally saw this in the gym yesterday, and I was just like, oh man.
Kid, you got a little problem downstairs?
Aw, man.
Because the guy's destroying his back. He was doing this as the Romanian deadlift. That puts all that pressure here. Bad pressure here. And it's only a matter of time before the lumbar, the L4, L5, L2, whatever gets torn up. So when you're doing this exercise, the most important part for the upper torso is to make sure you're in neutral spine. Retraction and depression of the shoulder blades. Keep that chest plate up. If you see here, when I'm coming down with the weight, I'm coming here. I'll pick the weight up here. And when I'm coming down with the weight, I keep my chest plate up the whole time, here. I don't come, see that? That's kyphotic or kyphosis. You become kyphotic, and that's what we don't want. So you want to stay here. So even when I come down in the Romanian deadlift, my chest plate is still up and my back is in neutral spine. So you can see it here. See my chest plate when I come up, it's as if my chest plate is up, my back is not here, right? My shoulders don't internally rotate and I'm not in kyphosis. So here. There you go. Neutral spine. Awesome. All right, point number 5, had to look at my notes, is internal rotation. I talked about it just a second ago, but I'm gonna show you with a dumbbell as well. I did the Romanian deadlift and showed you, right? You wanna make sure you stay chest up, shoulders back, and don't let your shoulders internally rotate. What happens is, actually let me grab another 20 here, is 20 kilos. 20 kilos.
Oh my God! Wow!
So I'm gonna use it. Basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a trim. I'm gonna show you exactly what not to do on Romanian deadlifts. What happens is a lot of people, when they do the Romanian deadlifts, they'll come here and they'll let their body rotate, right? Internally rotate, what I just showed you in the last point. Now, when I'm here, internal rotation even looks like this. When you're doing a shrug, you never wanna roll your shoulders. I did a video about this just recently here. So when you're doing the Romanian deadlift, if you're even doing it with dumbbells, you can come here, boom, chest up, shoulders back. Now I'm gonna do the Romanian deadlift with the dumbbells and watch my shoulders. See, they stay perfectly in place. We don't wanna come here. And the reason I'm showing you with dumbbells is because it's a lot easier when you're doing dumbbells to let your shoulders roll. This happens all the time when people do shrugs. They roll their shoulders and stuff like that. And you are literally, see when I do that, it pops my shoulders. I don't have a labrum. It like pops out of socket a little bit. It's really that bad for it. So, Romanian deadlift with dumbbells, just to kind of show you how the shoulders need to stay in place. Now, key point when you're doing it with the dumbbells, you want to come down and go to the side of your legs the whole time. Don't let the weights come forward. You want to come down to the side here. See, I'm coming right on the side of my legs. Here. And that is Romanian dumbbells, or Romanian deadlift. And I did it with dumbbells to show you. Don't internally rotate. Rock on. All right, talking about shaving your legs here. Okay, I talked about it at the very beginning of the video. I wanna make sure we go over it. It's a very, very important point. When you do this lift, the Romanian deadlift, you wanna go as close as you can. You see I've got some little metal chip. I got chips from this. I've got little metal chips on here. That's because this is rubbing and touching my legs so much. Because I'm sweating, it's just to suck it on there. So the point is that when you come out, you literally want that weight to either shave completely or right in front. Honestly, when I do these, when I do them really heavy, I end up having a bruise right here, and I sometimes cut up my legs. That's why I use pants when I do it a lot. It's because I'm shaving it so close. So make sure that you pull that weight into your hips, into your heels, and your hips are shooting back and up, right? Like I talked about, back and up with your hips, and ducktail it, and then you pull that weight into your legs, and you put into your heels, right? Don't lean forward. So I'm gonna do this here. Now watch, what I really want you to pay attention to is how close this is to my body, to my legs. I say shave your legs. It's just an easy way of saying keep it close to your body. I'm gonna deadlift it up, boop. And now Romanian deadlift, shave the legs. See how close it is? That's what we want. And there we go. Shave those legs with that. Boom. There you have it. Rock on. That's Romanian deadlift. So I really, really want you to be able to do these. I really, really want you to get the benefit of them and not hurt yourself. So please pay close attention to everything that I go through and all these different points. This is the most underutilized, literally the most underutilized. Some people say deadlifting is. I disagree because I see people deadlift all the time. Of course, most of the time it's really shitty, but they're still deadlifting, right? Nobody's really Romanian deadlifting. And if they are, I mean, 95% of the people I see do it wrong, just wrong, and it's bad. So it's really bad for your back. But if you do it correctly, you're gonna build up your hips, your hamstrings, your glutes, and I promise you, if you do this, if you do Romanian deadlifts twice a week, if you squat twice a week and do Romanian deadlifts twice a week, your legs are going to develop in strength so much, now again, correctly, that you will have to buy new clothes. For guys, that's awesome. Like my legs, I can only buy certain clothes. I live in Vietnam, so I can't buy anything here. I have to have stuff imported because of my hips, my hip to leg to waist ratio is so messed up because my legs are so much bigger than my waist. So that will happen. So I hope you enjoy the video. If you have any questions, I'm gonna leave a video right here on the hand grips, okay? The hand grips. So you can see all the different hand grips you can use for this. Hook, strap, watch that video. If you have any questions on grips, I go over in detail on over-under, and I go in detail on straps, on how to set them up, what's effective, what's not effective. That video's right here, and then right here you're gonna get a playlist of leg exercises too. Also subscribe, love to have you part of the team. If you have any questions or comments, just leave them below and I'll get to them or someone on my team will. I'm here to help, man. So let's rock it. Let's get lean and strong together. All right, peace.